Hi everyone, welcome to TwoTwins in EVE, your weekly update for EVE Online stuff. I am your host, The Lone Wolf, and last week saw some interesting news in EVE Online. First of all, I'd like to start with the open letter from Hilmar to the EVE Online community. So the open letter was basically an apology from Hilmar and a commitment to steer CCP back in the direction of flying in space. While you can still put me in the actions speak louder than words camp, but if they follow through on their commitment to make flying in space the priority for CCP again, I think this is a very good first step to make EVE Online the game it's worth being. I can understand Hilmar's feelings to wanting to get to his vision for EVE Online as quickly as possible. But to be honest, the walking in station parts and the establishment, in my opinion, will never really be a definition for EVE Online. You know, the flying in space part will always be EVE Online, and I don't think that the establishments can ever become much more than a separate part or a feature of EVE Online itself. A very unique one, sure, but it might become the gateway between EVE Online and Dust 514. But still, it's, in my opinion, never really going to outgrow it being a feature for EVE Online, and so it should not, its development should not take precedence over developing flying in space stuff. So I think this is a good decision, and I hope they follow through on it. Secondly, as most of you probably know, winter is coming for the super capitals, and there was a post with intended nerfs for the winter expansion, and I won't go over all of them, but I did read a lot of the threads following this announcement, and I'll go over 2 points that I thought were well made by the community. So first of all, a lot of people are worried that fighters will become completely useless, and I think that that might not be wrong. From an objective standpoint, I'm not a super carrier pilot or even a 0-0 resident. But objectively speaking, I do think that the punishment on fighters is a bit harsh, but nothing is set in stone, so I do believe that if it turns out to be really that bad, they'll do something about it. And secondly, some people raised the issue of Titans getting a buff on their tracking and one-shotting battleships and battle cruisers. So I do think that this is a valid concern as well, and should be looked into. For the nerfs themselves and the guys that are against it, there are I think 2 complaints. First of all, oh my god, how am I going to rat in my super carrier now, or what am I going to do against a single interdictor that can keep me locked in forever? My opinion on this is that a super carrier at the moment can basically destroy any type of ship, no matter if it's how small it is, and so it's basically a jack of all trades now, and these changes will give it more of a few set roles. Sure, it's a serious nerf, and if you're a super capital pilot that does everything in it, I'm sure that this doesn't come as good news, but I think overall for the game this is a good decision. And the other part of the complaints are, oh my god, once the subcapital fight has been lost, all your supers on the field will be lost as well. So that's mostly due to the change in the mechanic that you can't log out anymore, and after 50 minutes your ship disappears automatically. Well, frankly, you know, I think this is EVE Online, and if you fly a ship, even a super carrier, and you bring it to battle, you should be able to lose it. To be honest, when reading about 0-0 warfare, the ability to simply log out to avoid being destroyed when you fly a super carrier or a Titan seemed more like an exploit to me than something that is normal or allowed in in a game like EVE Online especially. So I think stop whining about that. Ships get destroyed in EVE Online, and no ship should have a fail-safe that allows them to avoid this when they lose a battle. So yeah, I'm all for this change, and I'm for most of the other changes as well. I do wonder if the fighter nerf might be a bit harsh, but I'm sure that the CCP will look into that, or that the outcry will be significant enough that in the end the nerfs will be rather balanced. But overall, I think these are good changes for the game. And lastly, two small tidbits. First of all, a new chronicle was released on the Dust 514 website. It's pretty short, so I'd say go give it a read. And we got the list from Hilen Tukos in the Eric Jalan project, so I'll be looking into that. But from what I saw, it's mostly PI stuff, and the deadline was until the 8th of November or something like that, so I don't think it's going to be a big problem for the community to get that together. Anyways, I'll keep you guys up to date on that, and I'll see you next time.